Thanks for staying with us. I am Gemu. The headlines.
Nigeria police confirms arrest of the killers of abducted Nabiha Al-Qadriya. Chief of Air Staff visits families of victims of airstrikes on Rukubi in Nasarawa State, admits the Air Force was at fault. And in stories outside of Nigeria, Burkina Faso, Niger and Mali withdraw membership of ECOWAS. US, 8 other countries withdraw funding for UN humanitarian bodies serving Gaza.
Welcome, I am Gemu. The main news stories. Nabiha Al-Qadriya and one barrister Ariyo, both masterminds in the killing and abduction of members of a family in the Bwari Area Council in Abuja, have been arrested. Force Public Relations Officer ACP Olumuyiwa Adejobi, in a statement on Sunday, revealed that the suspect, Bello Mohammed, 28, of Zamfara State, was arrested in Kaduna on the 20th of January 2024. Inspector General of Police IGP Kayode Egbetokun has ordered the suspect be handed over to the DFI IRT in Abuja for discreet investigations into the matters and arrests of all other culprits responsible for the dastardly act. Mohammed also confessed to the involvement of 5 bandits in Kaduna, headed by one May Gemu, aka Gudara, whose deadly camp has also been destroyed by the IRT.
He's a popular kidnapper. His name is everywhere on our internet, on our platforms. But I want to announce that this early hour today, Gemu, aka Godara, has been neutralized with other members of his gang. We can say without missing words that the gang and his camp have been destroyed.
In other stories now, the Nigerian police force has paraded 17 suspected criminals for various offences in what they considered another major stride towards fortifying the security landscape in the Federal Capital Territory and its environs.
So thank you all. The 2 officers in our custody are receiving treatment. They are doing quite well. Inspector Audu Mohammed is almost at, let's say, 7% recovery, while the ASP is also recovering as well. However, he has a clavicular fracture, which our orthopedic surgeon in the hospital is attending to. He's been initially attended to. He did a prior surgery before now, and he will be going in for the second surgery to actually complete the procedure. So we are hoping, and we are very hopeful. They are doing quite well, and we're hopeful that soonest they will they'll get to full recovery, and they will be able to get back to their families and duties. Thank you.
The Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, has met with families and victims of the accidental airstrike that occurred on the 24th of January 2023 near Rukubi in Doma local government area. The Air Force Chief was in Lafia, the Nasarawa State capital, on the 26th of January 2024, where he acknowledged that, having reviewed the incident report concerning the airstrike that were undertaken in pursuit of terrorists near Rukubi, innocent civilians may have erroneously been killed or injured in the process. He regrets the incident, saying that it was not deliberate, but had targeted suspected terrorists and cattle rustlers due to the heightened level of insecurity in the area at the time. Earlier, Air Marshal Abubakar had met with the governor of Nasarawa State, Abdullahi Sule, where he solicited his support in interfacing with the respective representatives of the victims. Governor Sule has commended the Chief of Air Staff for revisiting the earlier report of the incident and for his efforts at making amends. Still on security matters, with the recent launch of the Special Intervention Squad, the Nigerian Police Force has vowed to continue to comb bushes and shanties in other areas to ensure the security of all residents of the city and the country is intact. The Nigerian military has again committed itself to stamping out all forms of terrorism across the country. This assurance was given at the bi-weekly media briefing of the Defense Media Operations in Abuja.
And non-kinetic operations, which significantly curtailed attacks between farmers and herders in Plateau State. Sadly, events turned gloomy with the attack on Bokos local government area and certain parts of Barkinladi local government area on the 23rd of December. And this attack occurred while the locals were asleep. The militants unleashed mayhem on the locals before the arrival of troops to the location.
The governorship aspirants in the Labour Party have kicked against 30 million naira set as fees for nomination and expression of interest form for the September 21, 2024 gubernatorial elections in Edo State. The aspirants, in a joint statement, demanded a reduction in the fees in order not to discourage the participation of popular aspirants and to ensure an imperial democratic process. They are recommending that the expression of interest form be made free for all aspirants, while the nomination forms should be obtained at a cost that does not exceed 1 to 5 million naira, with a 50% reduction for women and people living with disabilities. The statement was signed by 18 aspirants. Campaigns for the governorship ticket of the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, in Edo State took another turn at the weekend, with the rousing welcome given one of the aspirants, Omorige Ogbede Ihama, by party leaders in Edo North. Ogbede Ihama, on a campaign visit to the senatorial headquarters in Auchi, was escorted by some of the leading political actors for the state and received by local government chairmen of the party and notable party leaders in the area. In a vibrantly lively atmosphere, party leaders unanimously endorsed Ogbede Ihama, citing his benevolent behaviors and endeavors, and as well as his goodwill. Ogbede Ihama took time to unfold his expansive developmental plans for Edo State. He pledged loyalty to the PDP leaders present, seeking support from PDP members in the senatorial district for the delegates election. In the meantime, the Supreme Court on Friday dismissed an appeal by a former member of the House of Representatives, Farouk Lawal, against judgments of the lower courts, which had him put in jail. A Federal Capital Territory High Court had sentenced Lawal to 7 years imprisonment for receiving $500,000 bribe while serving as the chairman of the House Ad Hoc Committee investigating the fuel subsidy fraud in 2012. Trial judge Angela Otaluka held that Lawan demanded $3 million and received $500,000 from Femi Otedola in 2012 to remove Otedola's oil company, Xenon Oil and Gas, from the list of firms indicted for fraud in the fuel subsidy regime. Not satisfied, Lawan approached the appellate court, where his jail term was reduced from 7 to 5 years. Lawan is at the apex court, urging the court to set aside the judgment of the lower court. Reading the judgment, Justice Tijani Abubakar upheld the decision of the appeal court and dismissed the appeal. Meanwhile, the magistrate court in Lafia has granted bail to 38 protesters arrested by the police in Nasarawa State for alleged conspiracy, unlawful assembly, and causing a disturbance in the area. The protesters were arrested by the police on January 19th for blocking Lafia Jos Road after the Supreme Court judgment that affirmed the victory of Governor Abdullahi Sule of Nasarawa State. The police said that the protesters, comprising 8 men and 30 women, had violated the peace accord signed by the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, and the All Progressives Congress, the APC, ahead of the Supreme Court's judgment. The magistrate, Mohammed Abdullahi Lanzi, granted the defendants bail after hearing the bail application filed by their counsel. And he has adjourned the case to the 27th of February for hearing and directed that all the defendants must be present in court on the date. The Nasarawa State Commissioner for Justice and Attorney General Labaran Magaji, who earlier took over as the prosecuting counsel, withdrew all the 3 counter applications. Magaji says that the offences committed by the defendants were bailable. As such, the state had withdrawn the counter applications to save the time. of the court. You're watching Control TV News Mobile, reaching you live from Lagos. Still to come, a private jet skis up the runway in a desperate... Welcome back. You're watching News Mobile on Control TV, reaching you live from Lagos. Do remember to find all our top stories. Visit our website, www.controltv.ng. You can also find our top stories as those that matters to you. Our YouTube page is also there. You can scroll down and follow the instructions. Download the mobile apps for both Android and iOS. A private jet carrying about 10 persons, including some very important personalities, VIPs, on Friday crash-landed at the Samuel Ladoke Akintola Airport in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, at about 11 a.m. The jet, with registration number N580KR, missed the runway and ended up in a nearby bush. Firefighters and rescue officials from the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, FAN, were immediately deployed to the scene. There was no death or casualty recorded in that incident. This is the second time that this has happened in less than 4 months in that same airport. The private jet with the Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, on board had in November crash-landed at the same airport, with the minister escaping death. On a brighter note, the Lagos State government is making plans to establish an airline for operations. State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu revealed this while speaking at the Lagos West Senatorial District Town Hall meeting. On Thursday, he says that the plans have been in the pipeline for some months now and that the state is finalizing its financing model. The state is also for the groundbreaking to start construction of its airport in Lekki. The airlines operating contingency and approval for the federal government are under consideration, but the governor is seeking public involvement in his administration's decision-making process and plan programs and interventions before they can be implemented. And still in Lagos, it has been ranked as the 19th best city to visit in the world by Time Out, an outfit that publishes guidelines and magazines. Apart from Lagos, South Africa's Cape Town ranked second, and Ghana's Accra 44th, were the only African cities that featured on the list. Time Out said that it drew its conclusion from a survey of more than 20,000 city dwellers around the world, along with its network of editors. The criteria used to rate the cities include food, quality and affordability, culture, nightlife, how the city makes people feel, strong community vibes, access to green space, historic sites, and much more. The report encouraged global citizens to visit the city. Lagos was ranked above cities such as Melbourne in Australia, Naples in Italy, Beijing, China, Dubai, United Arab Emirates, and Montreal in Canada. Kebbi State Governor Nasir Idris has commended the Senior Special Assistant to the President on SDGs, Princess Adejoke Orelokpe Adefulure, for delivering the state-of-the-art 100-bed mother and child hospital in the rustic Tsamia village in Kebbi State. He also commended President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for his unwavering commitment to improving the health sector. The hospital, commissioned by the Governor of Kebbi State, Comrade Dr. Nasir Idris, is one of over 40 units of 100 beds and mothers and child hospitals constructed and fully equipped across the country by the OSSAP SDGs. The governors believe that the project would help in reducing child and maternal mortality, as well as improve on maternal health within the state and, by extension, the neighboring Benin Republic. The hospital will cater on the teeming population in the area, which had hitherto been underserved. The World Health Organization, WHO, has urged member nations of its Global Tobacco Treaty to ban or regulate the use of e-cigarettes and other novel and emerging products of the tobacco industry. E-cigarettes are battery-powered devices that people use to heat liquid into a vapor that can be inhaled. The World Health Body has made the call in the interest of the public on Tuesday during a virtual media briefing by the Network for Accountability of Tobacco Transnationals on the Global Tobacco Treaty. WHO's Global Tobacco Treaty is an evidence-based treaty that reaffirms all people's rights to the highest standards of health. The conference was organized ahead of the 10th Conference of Parties to the World Health Organization's Framework Convention on Tobacco Control in Panama. The United States has paused funding to the United Nations Relief and Work Agency over revelations that some of its staff were involved in the October 7th terror attack on Israel. U.S. State Department spokesperson Matthew Miller said that 12 UNRWA employees have been accused of participating. In response, the United Nations agency, which serves Palestinian refugees, says that it has opened an investigation into some employees Israel alleges that were involved in the October 7 attacks, and that it has severed ties with those state members. But worrying to the UNWRA head is that 9 countries have suspended funding to the agency. Philip Lazzarini said in a statement on Saturday that this action threatens ongoing humanitarian work across the region, including and especially in Gaza Strip. It will be immensely irresponsible to sanction an agency and an entire community it serves because of allegations of criminal acts against some individuals, especially at a time of war, displacement and political crisis in the region. And that's it on Control TV News Mobile at this time. I want to thank you so much indeed for watching. Do subscribe on our channel as well as download the mobile apps. I'm Gemu Omar, and we'll see you later.